brings clear. Let's wait for you to get in. I'm a wee bit, a couple of minutes late. Gabbing away, talking away, giving all my secrets away, guys. But in good company, good laugh. I don't have any secrets. There's no secrets in Freedom Dad. So who's in? Who's in? Let me know if you can hear me, and let me know if everything's okay with the. You've had it away a wee touch. Oh, so we got one. Hello. Who's in? Let me know if the sound's all right, guys. You know the script. You know the script. You know the script. I'm good. Just chilling. Chilling like an ex-villain. All's good in the hood, as they say. And yeah, just relaxing. Looking forward to the weekend. Bit nervous, if I'm honest. You know, what prod would not be nervous? Let's be honest. It's not like Scotland. Hello, my man, John Capone. Does it sound all right, bro? Everything okay? So I am going to be meeting the amazing Lindsay. John Giles. Hello, John, mate. Good to see you. Hope you're good, buddy. Good to see you. Looking well, man. Thank you, mate. Feeling great. Feeling absolutely on top of the world. I really am. Yeah, eating well, fresh air, no stress. Well, a wee bit of stress, you know, still miss my baby and all that, you know, but spoke to Katie, just getting the thumbs up that everything's good on this stream. And yes, she's moving. She's got her own house tomorrow, so busy. Don't know where it is. She hasn't told me where she's moving to, like, but I'm sure I'll find out. I'm sure I'll do my detective work. Oh dearie. So it sounds good. Thank you, mate. Sean Murray, good evening. Wait till a few people get in. Got a wee bit of news for you, you know. I think it's quite interesting. I'm learning, so you've got to forgive me with some of my words. It's a different world in Ireland with the government and the way it all works. It really is confusing, especially when half of it's in Gaelic. Shame can't come back. Home Saturday, flight's too expensive, so I'll be watching from home. No problem, Sean. I won't be doing a live. I will just be doing footage and trying. I don't know what I'm doing, to be honest with you. I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing because I don't know. You know, if I sit here and say I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and I do A, B, and C, and you know what I mean, it could be an absolute shitstorm. I could end up going there, getting a dignature and told to bolt. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens, guys. We'll see what happens. I've got no security. Well, you know, we'll see. Good or bad news? Well, it depends. It's just to do with politics, mate. Irish politics. Hope you get the sunshine. Yes, apparently we have got a wee bit of sunshine on Saturday, you know. And what I'm seeing online, it's everything's moving very fast. A lot of people are talking about it. A lot of things going on, you know. But yeah. So Freaky, hello. How is everyone? We are all good. Everybody's always good in my channel. Hello, Kat. Good to see you. Good evening, Freedom Dad crew. Hope you're all well. James, good to see you. Good evening. Great wee message I got from you that day. Really, really interesting. Thank you for that. And in other words, crap. Sean Murray, hi, Cag. So, now, I'm not great with names, guys. So you need to give me a couple of minutes here to try and think of this, remember this guy's name. Connell. It's a guy who was part of Fine Gael. So you've got Sinn Féin, you've got this other party called Fine Gael, or something like that, right? So just bear with me, guys. There was a man that was involved in the post office, really famous man, O'Connell or something. I can't mind, right? But one usually throw some names up that died in the post office carry on in uprising. No, not now. This is somebody a long time ago. I know who you mean. His great niece, I have heard, could possibly be running for Fianna Gael or whatever they're called. O'Connell. Collins, James. You've got it. It's Collins. Michael Collins. Thank you, Talbot. Michael Collins. So it's Michael Collins' niece. Great niece. Get that right. So she's an American. Well, she's Irish, but she's in America, and she's got businesses, and she's sailed boats across the Atlantic, and all sorts of, like, her resume is off the scale. And like, if you pull this off, guys, if you can pull this off, you might have something going here. And I know a lot of you are wanting Conor McGregor and all the rest of it, but what I'm gathering is Sinn Féin are trying to poach her, right? Now, from what I understand, Michael Collins was Fianna Gael. You know what I'm talking about. So he's not Sinn Féin. Michael Collins wasn't Sinn Féin or any. He was the other one. So, at the end of the day, she's going to go with the party of her dad. I can't imagine, and a lot of other people are saying they can't imagine her going to Sinn Féin. That's if she comes over. That's if it's true. But I've seen a YouTuber who's like apparently got her ears on the ground and really, really good sources. So you can do your own research, guys. Start researching it. Michael Collins, his great niece, could be your next president of Ireland, and I imagine she's close to Trump. I think she's either a millionaire or a billionaire, and she is, like, the degrees, diplomas, like, I haven't heard of a woman so intelligent, with so much, that's done so much, has gained so much, is in such a high position, an Irish woman. I've never heard of any woman that's at this standard of life, and like we were talking between us earlier on, we were talking about, like, why would she want to be president? Like, she's got so much. This is what you would think. Why would you? And then you realize, there's nothing else she needs. There's nothing else she can get. She's that intelligent. She's done that much. There's only president in Ireland left for her. It's one of them ones. The only thing left that she's got that she probably really wants would be to be the president of a country. You know what I mean? So, guys, a wee bit of luck, yeah. Hopefully, she's what Ireland needs. Sean Murray, I think he died. I think he's been dead for a wee bit, mate, to be honest with you. I really do. I've been getting messages from people from about 2 months ago. A certain person who was like, Freedom Dad, I think the Pope's dead. And I'm like, no, maybe a month ago. I'm like, because what it's like. And he quite adamant, you know what I mean? And I was paying a wee bit of attention to it, and you can't trust them, guys. Like, I know it's not about religion. It's just like, I don't trust the head of the church. 110%. I do not trust the head of my church, any of my churches. We need to get rid of every one of them, every single one of them that's at the head of our churches and chapels. No two ways about it. I was looking in that very subject. Good man, James. That means I'm on the button here. Hi, Freedom Dad in chat. Hello, MR. Eddie Cool, good to see you, bro. Eddie Cool is trying to set up a meeting with Niall, with myself and Niall. This would be really interesting, you know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know what it is like, but because I know me. I'm not going to be like, I'm not going, I am who I am. I'm not changing. Nobody's changing me, and I'm not changing for anybody. I'm an Ulster man. I'm a Protestant. None of that's ever going to go away, guys. You know what I mean? So but I know who I am. I'm a good person. I'm a good soul. You know what I mean? Kind. I'm generous. You know what I mean? So it's down to the other person now. You know what I mean? This is who I am. take me or leave me, and then it's up to him if he wants to speak to me. And then it would be, I think it would be very interesting to see where that conversation would go. You know, I wouldn't, I don't thingy from stuff. I don't avoid stuff like that. I thrive on stuff like that. I'd love to talk to Republicans, you know, like proper talk to them, like, you know, and get how they feel and what they think, and you know what they think going forward for Ireland, and you know, and then letting them hear what I think, you know, getting my point of view across to them, you know what I mean? And I just think that would be amazing. I think it would be amazing to watch, you know what I mean? I would like to watch it back, you know what I mean? But yeah, I really, I'm looking, I'm looking forward to it. You know, and like I say, it's like, you know, I'm not wanting to interview the guy. It would be just a wee chat between the two of us, and he wants to stick his camera up, I'll stick my camera up, and we'll go for it, you know? What's the worst can happen? What's the worst can happen, guys? But you know, he seems an all right guy. So you know, whether he wants to um, go up against a loyalist or a Protestant, you know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see, eh? We'll see. Um, but yeah, it would be very interesting. The real head of the church, King Jesus. You're right, Benny's O'Connor. Latifa Logan, hello, good to see you. Hope you're enjoying your trip to Ireland. It's bad here. It is, but it's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. I know, mate. I know, freaky. It doesn't matter the religion. All that matters is you're a good person. That's correct. But yeah, I get that. Like, but you got to try and convince everybody that, you know what I mean? It would be so true. It would be, mate. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Government has divided us all too long. Yeah, 100%. First time watcher, what religion is this channel promote? This channel doesn't promote any religion. Everybody, Muslims, Sikhs, Jews, Catholics, Protestants, it's everybody is welcome. Everybody is here to disagree, agree, debate, you know, and get your point across. And you will not be blocked unless you're being abusive. And you know, just honestly, we love challenges. We love difference of opinions. You know what I mean? That's all it's about, mate. It's a community of patriots from all religions who love their country, love their children, and want a safe, sound future, exactly like we had growing up. That's it, you know. And yeah, we're not going to stop until we change everything, and we're going to deport these people that are coming in by hook or by crook. And this is what I keep on saying. I keep on saying this to everybody. I don't care. Let them come. They want to come, they can come, but they'll be going straight back out again because they're in illegally. They're coming in here under, I believe, my personal opinion, under a traitors sort of agreement. I don't think any leader of any country has his own citizens at heart when they're allowing men like that to come in with the evidence of the children that have been affected in England, 50 towns, 1,400 girls in one city, allegedly 200 women, children being affected by men coming in this country from other countries. So with that evidence, if you have leaders still bringing these men in my eyes, my opinion, it's a traitorous act. So therefore, anything that happens while a traitorous acting government is in power, it can be reversed because they are illegal. They are coming in illegal. They are coming into a country where you need to have lots of documents. You have to have lots of vaccines. You've got to have so much stuff to get into this country legally. So if you just sail in here with no ID, you're breaking the law. And in my eyes, it's the worst law of the land, as far as I'm concerned. And you're going to get deported, you know. And there's no other way forward for Ireland, Northern Ireland, Scotland, or England. You know, each country is going to have to deal with it themselves. You know what I mean? But I know in my heart when I'm here in Ireland, and I've been in Northern Ireland, I've been in Ireland, I'm online, I'm watching videos non-stop from all sorts of TikTokers, all sorts of YouTubers. I'm seeing the comments, I'm watching the people that's following, I'm seeing how many followers they've got, I'm seeing the love that they're getting from their community. And I can tell you now that when the right government does come in, these men that have come into your country are going to be sent right back out again, you know. And if it means having to build camps in other countries and pay other countries to set these camps up, that's what will be done, you know. This isn't a country, our country is not an overflow for the unwanted of other Muslim countries. That's That's never ever going to be allowed. This isn't a dumping ground. This isn't a ground where our children are just left vulnerable. Our women men in Ireland are having to walk about the streets every weekend to protect their women coming out from bars. You know, they're having to patrol their own areas. Right? Not abusive. No, no, I'm just saying. You know, I know that, mate. No, I appreciate that. No religion here, mate. Just people talking about what's best for the communities. Yeah, 100%. This issue can unite Protestants and Catholics. Well, evening all, Freedom Dad and Walton family. Hope all is good. Cheers, M&G. Good to see you, buddy. Hi, Amby. Good to see you. Just catching up. Are you in Wales, Eddie? Oh, Revo. Okay, change your name. Just change your name, you know what I mean? Good to see you, buddy. Stay safe, Freedom Dad, especially in Dublin. See you all later. I will do. Thank you, Latifa. Sean was in Wales yesterday. You'll send all each other. All good, guys. Just being on a bender. Well, see, doing it. Keith, open prisons. Sean Murray, all right. Weather has been bad, hasn't it? It does a bit. Yeah, it's been a bit rainy here, but it's still nice. And we like the rain, don't we, guys? We like the rain. That means everywhere's getting cleaned. You know what I mean? A few hard days at it, so I mean, a little bit not too bad. Yeah, it's never too bad for us. You know what I mean? Eddie, cool. What can I do for you? I'm all yours. A little, but not too bad. Was that Freedom Dad off the last comment? Did you notice Lindsay is here? No, I didn't. Hello, Lindsay. I'm sorry, I've missed the comment. I did mention her as soon as I came on because she is going to be my security in Dublin. No, we're just going. We're going to be together in Dublin, so you know, it's going to be an experience for the two of us. Lindsay, hello. Oh, sorry, it does this comments. But if you all comment at the same time, they just go woof. You know what I mean? But yeah, all good. Like I say, looking forward to it. I'm sure, you know, Lindsay will be the same. Well, a wee bit nervous. You know what I mean? You know. Like, of course, we're going to be a bit nervous. You know what I mean? I don't think I'm going to be around so many tricolours in my life. I can vision it right now. You know what I mean? But shame you aren't going down Ballybunion. Eddie, are you talking to somebody else? Ballybunion. That has to be here. Like Ballybunion has to be here. There's nowhere else could be Ballybunion but Ireland. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, guys. I'm looking forward to it. And obviously I'm looking forward to Belfast. And some of the TikToks going about for these rallies are quite emotional. They're really pulling the heartstrings. Some I'm not kidding you on, guys. There's some heavy duty activism going on over here. There's some real good YouTubers and some real good TikTokers. You know, they're all finding their way and they're just normal guys. And you've seen the Belfast protest. Them guys, you know, they're not the type of guys that go in front of the cameras, and they're not the type of guys that get involved in none of this, but they are because they feel they've got no choice, you know what I mean? And that's what's happening, guys, you know what I mean? This is what's happening. People are thinking, I've got to do something, you know, I've got to do something. And then they just go on it online. Like you guys, we all start by commenting, joining a community, and, you know, and like somebody, you know, how do you share stuff? You have a weekend full of rallies, making new amazing contacts, 100%, Lindsay. And this is the way forward. We've got the government and the people that are coming into this country illegally are going to hear us. They're going to know that the country isn't happy, you know, and they're also going to know what's ahead of them, because it's as simple as that, guys. You know, we're not here to persecute people. We're not here to be bad. We're here, you know, to look after our children. And like I keep on saying, this is the last day off Freedom Dad, back to work tomorrow. Oh, mate. My clan all from Kerry. I'm in County Clare. You know what I mean? County Clare back. Yeah, it's really nice. It's beautiful. You know what I mean? It's just another world. You know, it really is. You know what I mean? It's the Atlantic. You know what I mean? It's like America. I can't get my head around it. I've never been this part of the world before or anything like that, you know. I know Flint quite well. John Giles. I'll be seeing you Saturday. Are you going on Saturday, James? You can be my bodyguard then. Anybody else want to go? Freedom Dad, just surround me. Just Freedom Dad's community. You know what I mean? I'll be there on my wee red handy Ulster. I'm joking. No, I'm joking. But yeah, it's yeah, like I say, guys, It's got to be done. You know what I mean? And even more respect for Lindsay, you know what I mean? And this is all it is, guys. It's like, and you know, with Lindsay, you know what I mean, as well. I'm quite sure she won't mind, and I'm not 100% sure on this, but I'm quite sure she'll let me know if I'm wrong, you know. And Lindsay's had a wee bit of a rough background like me as well, you know what I mean, and had a wee bit of a roller coaster. So she more than likely knows the kind of kids that are getting involved, that the kind of kids that are suffering, you know what I mean? And that's why people like us stand out and stand up, because we know exactly what's going on. We know who these children are. We know what it's not the rich people's children, you know, it's not the politicians' children, it's not the private school boys' children, it's our children, you know what I mean? And yeah. Do you think there might be fear at Dublin because of the Pope's funeral? Bernice O'Connor, my feeling right now is I'm feeling like it's not a loss of faith. It's like religion's been put on a back burner. That's what I'm feeling right now. I'm not getting that religious vibe. I'm really not. I'm not getting it in my own country, and I'm not getting it in Ireland. And it's very, very strange. It is really strange being an Ulster man. And you know, obviously we've got the 12th of July, we've got the marching season coming, and you know, you're gonna, when you see what I bring you, you're gonna be whoa. You know what I mean? They're proper Protestants. They're loyalists and unionists, and you'll see all the flags and all that. But you know, at the end of the day, that's a traditional thing. On the ground, on a normal weekday, let's say, you know, that religion thing isn't as strong anymore, guys. It really isn't. You know, there is a lot. It's like a Christianity. Like there's like it's very, very strange. It's almost like people have turned off the seriousness of the Roman Catholic Church. I don't know if it's the priests, or what's happened with the priests, what's happened in the homes, what's happened in the Borstals, what's happened to. I've seen and heard some stories about what's happened to some nuns, which would fucking break your heart. I mean, break your heart, guys. You know what I mean? So I don't know, because I'm a Protestant, so I don't know these. I'm only hearing these stories and learning more about the Roman. I know the Roman. I know about the religions. I'm born and bred it. So obviously I've done my research and I know exactly the difference and all that, and how the Bibles are different and that. I know all that, but you know, I always took it for granted that every single Irish person would be like Hail Marys up, and the crucifixes and pictures of Jesus. And yes, you can go about all the towns and there's Virgin Mary sitting in a wee bit, you know what I mean? And people kind of imagine. I've never seen anybody at them, and I don't know how many have passed, like, and I've never seen anybody stand at them or anything like that. So yeah, that is interesting, you know, and there's probably lots of reasons why that is. But I think the main reason is because of what's happening in Ireland. You know, um, I think people realize that praying isn't going to work this time. You know, I really do. I think that's the core. You know, and that's not a fault of God, you know, or a fault of anything else. Oh, good man. Thank you so much, mate. Happy days. Perfect. That's not a fault of God, you know. And it's not people losing their religion. I think it's the modernization of Christianity. I think people realize that, you know, God, you're either good or you're bad. You know, you either don't have remorse, you don't feel pity, you don't care about nobody, you don't care about animals. You're just a nasty piece of work, or you're a kind, generous soul. And even kind, generous souls get hurt now and again, and you know they get let down, they get failed. You know what I mean? And you know, and they may dip a wee bit as far as the religion goes, but they'll always come back up and peak. You know what I mean? Christianity is about faith. It's about coming against a brick wall and looking at the brick wall and thinking, how do I get over this? And why has this brick wall disappeared in front of me? You know what I mean? Why I'm a Christian man. Why should my path should be clear? You know, everything should come to me, and I'm a good person. But you know, every time you get over every one of them brick walls, you don't question it. The brick wall's there. The devil's put it there. You know what I mean? You get over that brick wall. You knock that brick wall down. No matter how long you get through it, you get through it. And every brick wall you get through, your faith gets stronger. That's just a wee thing, you know what I mean? That's what I believe. Every time you get challenged, you lose somebody, you ask God, why is this happening to me? Every time you get over that, you get a bit stronger. Your religion gets stronger and you become stronger. And I think in the modern age, you know, people don't feel that need to be so outward as a Christian. You know, we now know that there's the devil walks amongst us. We know there's good and there's bad. We know it's all about faith. You know, because like you know what I'd say to you when you are saying to me, if there's a God, why does the Twin Towers? And if there's a God, why does so many kids die in Gaza? And if there's a God, why did so many children die in Israel in October? You know what I mean? And you know, and why is there no miracles? Why can't God give you a miracle? And like, you know, I look at these and think, what? Why would you even think like that? What, you want God to come down and go, hey, I'm God, and this is heaven, and if you're bad, this is hell, you know? And you look at hell and you go, fuck that, man. You know what I mean? I definitely don't want to go to hell. Yeah, I'm going to be good. You know, that's not going to work, is it? You know, you're going to get a lot of bad people pretending to be good. You know what I mean? And like, at the end of the day, people might say, but God knows everything, you know? And my answer to that is maybe he doesn't. Maybe there's just something that he doesn't know, or maybe there's something that we need to be tested. And, you know, I think the common thread between Christians now is it's the same sort of thing. We know that the Bible, the Christianity, the Roman Catholic Bible and the Protestant Bible, you know, we're talking what, 4 or 5 books that are different, you know, Greek, you know, we Protestants say that's Greek mythology. This is the thing, the books that they're in, that the Roman Catholics kept in their Bible, we believe it isn't the word of God. We believe it's Greek mythology, right? That's the problem. And the Roman Catholic Church have kept them books in there, right? That's the difference. In a nutshell, guys, over a couple of books in a Bible, you know? The Bibles, we've got the same Bibles apart from 4 or 5 books, you know? And I think we're at an age now where we've got the internet, we've got the knowledge explosion, and we're a little bit more clever. We're awake. We're not all there working in factories and, you know, working the grind. People are researching things and people are questioning things. People are going, how did we go to the moon all them years ago, but it's impossible to get to the moon now? What do you mean we can't get through into space? No human can get through. We went to the moon 40 years ago. Now you're telling us we can't even get out of space. You're telling us we're in a prison, that nobody can leave this earth. That's what they're telling us, you know? So we're researching things. We're researching the South Pole. We're looking at the sky and we're seeing stuff getting sprayed. And we're going, that's not normal. You know, I've been here for 55 years and I've never seen that. You know, I've seen airplanes going by with wee trail and the wee trail disappears within half an hour. You know, these trails are just there, big lines, and they're just moving like a mist. So we're a lot wiser, we're a lot cleverer, and I think that's coming down to the human level of Christianity. That's what I think. That's what I feel as a Protestant in a Catholic land. I feel an acceptance and a common denominator, and it's Christianity. Absolutely no difference. We believe in Jesus. We believe Jesus risen. He was, you know, the rebirth of Christ. You know, we believe he died. He died on the cross. You know, and he died for our sins. You know, and every single one of us believe that. All Protestants and all Catholics. So you tell me what the difference is, guys. You know. Do you think there might be a fear at the Dublin? No, I don't. Hey, you should have done a live with Lindsay this evening. Yeah, I can do a live with Lindsay tomorrow if you want. That would be brilliant. I was actually thinking that. So it was. I actually thought about that, but I don't know how. I don't, because Lindsay's only started her YouTube channel, and I don't know if you need so many people to have a live. But if it's possible, 110%, you know, it would be good to have a chat and a laugh. I might need to get a headphones with a wee mic. That's my only problem. Eddie, I'm in my PJs, defo next time. You can come on now live with your PJs on, you know what I mean? Jeez, it's Freedom Dance community, Lindsay. You'll be fine. Sometimes I feel like someone is watching me. Yeah, don't. We'll all burst. Everybody's singing in their heads right now. You know what I mean? Hello, Paul boy. Good to see you, mate. Hey, Frank. Are you new here? We are the Wildens with Freedom Dad. Good banter, good crack. Stay on board. You'll love it. Yeah. And John Capone's legless every night. Oh, dear. Hi, Freedom Dad. Hello, Marty Greenburn. How good to see you, my man. Need to catch up, son. We need to catch up. I've heard about that at Kenny Sean. Yes, it's all over. Everybody's talking about it. You know what I mean? And yeah, like I say, you know, it's happening. It's happening everywhere. You know what I mean? Frank, Marty Greenberg, Frank Barn, hello. Stephen Kerr, hello. Chatting constantly about this. We'll do nothing. I'm afraid that point is past. It's already too late. Can't believe how so many are asleep. Yes, This is the whole point. Chatting constantly is our weapon. You don't realize that, Stephen. I promise you. Listen, hear me out. So, what's the government's weapon? The government's weapon is the silences. If everybody is silenced, then people won't get awake. Right? They keep it away from the news, Sky News, BBC News, Channel 4, Guardian, all these, they're all stump. So we have to chat constantly and loudly. And this is what it's about. I'm telling you guys, all you got to do is tell a couple of people every day. Do you know about the grooming gangs? Do you know about Letterkenny? Do you know about this, that, and the other? Do a wee bit of research. Learn a couple of wee things. A couple of wee things that will be a big impact when you put it into somebody's head. You plant the seed. You let them go home and they go, nah, that's not right. He can't be right about that. 1,400 children in one city. 50 cities up and down the breadth of England. I would have heard about that. You plant the seed, they go home, they do the research, and then they'll be shocked. Once they're shocked, then they start looking and looking and looking, and that's you just awoke somebody. That person's then going to wake their auntie, their uncle, their son, their brother, their cousin. You get me? So you telling one person can reach right out there, and that's our weapon. We cannot do this without every single person being awake. We can only vote these people out. It's the only chance anybody has in any of our countries. The only way is political. Everybody going on about civil war, all they're doing is sitting back going, you know what? If it comes to it, we'll just go out in the street and we'll just, I don't know what you're going to do, but blow the place up, throw petrol bombs, throw sticks, stones at the police. I don't know. We're going to charge the police, run through the police. You're going to take over the police stations. I don't know what they think they're going to do, But I can tell you, we've been doing it in Belfast and in London, Derry for the last, I don't know how many years, how many battles we've had, how many battles I've been in, how many Land Rovers in the back of Land Rovers, many beatings I've taken from the police. We have never gained an inch. We never won when they took us, when they told us we couldn't march in Dumcree, when they told us we couldn't march up Brummer Road, we lost them battles. When they took our flags down, we lost them battles. Okay, the Republicans lost every single battle. The hunger striker battles, even though they got the concessions, all the rats on the street, nobody gained anything. Please believe me, us guys in Northern Ireland, both Republicans and Loyalists, have been doing this for a long time, and we have never gained an inch. What do you think you guys in England with stones and petrol bombs are going to do when we couldn't do it with guns and bombs? So the more you sit there going on about civil war, the happier the government are, because if you're talking about a civil war, you're not talking about the real solution, which is getting people awake, getting people off their seats, and getting people voting for the right party. And the only party that's the right party is a party that votes, that demands deportations from any man that's come into this country fighting AIDS without ID. That's come in illegally, straight back out again. That's the answer. If you want to save your country, you want to save your children, that's what you've got to do. You aren't going out on the street. I don't know if you have seen the rats in Romania. Like they've got this new weapon, vibration, sound. I don't know. You can't hear it, but when they release the power from this thing, people move. I've never seen anything like it. This is top-end military grade technology, okay? I don't know what it does to the brain, the hearing, or what. I don't know. You need to speak to people in Romania that experienced that day and what happened to them and what made them move so quick, because it wasn't gas, it wasn't CS, and it wasn't water. It was something that was invisible, and it was something that didn't make any noise. But it affected people's heads that much, you had to get away from it as quickly as possible. So please believe me, you will not win anything. They want you to go on the streets. They want you to go on with your civil wars, because then they'll just take the ringleaders. Everybody will be banned off the internet. If you don't get put in the jail, people like me, you'll never see me again. You'll never see Paul Thorpe again. You'll never see Mark Tussey again. You'll never see anybody on the Patriot side on any network, on any social media, and that's what they want. They can't do these things to us because we have rights, we have human rights. But once you have civil war, martial law, they can do so much to us, and that's what they want. It's the only way they can beat us is by us going onto the street. The only way we can lose is by going onto the street. Please believe me. I know this. It's the one thing I know 110% out of everything that I'm telling you tonight. 110%. We ain't winning any battles on the street. The only way we're going to beat our government is by getting rid of them and putting our own people into power. Sorry, guys. Right. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Amazing. You know what I mean? Absolutely amazing. You know what I mean? But like, he is from the west coast of Scotland. What do you expect, guys? Sorry, I had to get that one out there. You know what I mean? If you know, you know. You know what I mean? But yeah, brilliant guy. Absolutely brilliant guy. And brilliant couple. You know. But can he make the liver and kidney? Oh, we have been talking about it, but I don't want to take it away from John Capone. You know what I mean? He's my mate. You know what I mean? And we were actually talking about it today, and I heard Tyler going saying to me, "I need to phone the butcher and see if he's got any." Because I was like, I like heart. I like all that kind of thing. You know what I mean? But to be honest with you, I was never really like liver was a prison thing. You used to get liver every Thursday in most jails. You know what I mean? Because it was cheap and nasty. And because of that and the way it was cooked, it was just bitter. It was horrible. So the initial thought of getting liver and kidney, like I was like, you know, you're being polite. Yeah, it sounds good. You know what I mean? Boy, I'm honestly like blown away. You know, I can't wait to have it again. It's that good. Really, really tasty. But you know, um, you can't beat the Irish food, guys. Now you can't beat the old Irish home cooking, guys. You know what I mean? And I mean, with a lot of our guys, we say we're Ulster men and all the rest of it, like, but we're still Northern Irish, man. We support Northern Ireland football team. You know what I mean? We all are Irish. Every one of us, man. Whether you like it or not, we're all Irish. So, you know, so maybe it's the Irish and John Capone that makes the good cooking, eh? Hey, John, maybe it's the Irish in you, boy. Sorry for getting deep. Had a really rough time since Christmas, suicidal, etc. Bad depression. Sean, just send me a message. Go on to X. Send me a wee message. You know, try and get an X account or on the TikTok, Freedomdad73 on all platforms. Send me a wee message. I'll give you my phone number and we'll get a wee chat. You know, I've been there, mate. I tried killing myself when I was young. I've lost so many people I love. I've been so down, and I've been at the end of a battle. I've been addicted to drugs. I've died and came back. I know I've suffered. I know how to get back from these things. It really, you know, and I'm not talking about just getting back, and and then some. There's things that you can do, things that you need to know that give you the strength to go forward. Some things, you know what I mean, and it does take a wee bit of time just to talk about it. And I don't want nothing for it, you know what I mean. I just want to make sure you're all right. If you're part of my community, we look after our own community, And then I would like to think that one day you'd be doing the exact same for somebody else. You know what I mean? So maybe somebody will come onto my platform and say exactly that, and you'll go, you know what? I'm going to reach out to this guy. You know what I mean? And tell him what Freedom Dad told me, and that's what I expect from all you guys. Anybody that I'm on the phone to, anybody that I'm counselling, talking about stuff. Because it's all different. It's so many different things going on right now with people's mental health. And the whole goal is to get people better. Just like I'm better and helping other people to get better, and getting people off medication in the ring and all the rest of it. You know what I mean? And like off alcohol, and like getting them on good vegetables, fruit, drinking plenty of water, making sure the water's distilled. Plenty of fresh air, plenty of forest greenery, bit of earthing. A little bit of everything. You know what I mean? You'd be surprised. It's a very strange world. Very, very strange world. And it's the medication, guys, that's cutting your powers. You're very, very powerful. We all are. You just don't realize how powerful you are because you just don't know. We've been trained to be workers. We all went to school to be. The government trained us to be workers, not to be leaders. So you'll all understand that once. One day I think everybody gets awakened to what's truly going on in this world with our governments. You can tell a good one if they turn their shopping trolley to the right place. I'm getting through it. I'm getting stronger each day. Good, mate. But, it's always good to have a wee chat, you know what I mean? And just build the armor. This is the way I talk about it. Trauma is armor. You wear your trauma. It happened. There's nothing taken away. Whatever's going on in your life, all that stuff that hits you hard, it's there. It's never going away. But you can wear it like armor, you know. They call it complex PTSD because it's complex. It's one trauma on top of another, and it just weighs down. So you can go through life and sort of be okay with getting some trauma, whether it's abuse, whether it's grief. But then it gets this stage when it gets a bit heavy, you know. But it does. It's like it depends how you carry it. It's all about how you carry it, guys. You know what I mean? And if you wear it like an armor to protect yourself from any further trauma, then you're using it for good, you know. And that's the way that's how I work, you know. And I also deal with the wee brother and how the wee brother isn't connected to you. And this is just something that's part of life, of you being born and going through this life. And when you die, this doesn't go with you. This stays here. This is just like a wee computer that runs wild that you need to get on top of, you know, and it's really easy to get on top of. But yeah, we're all here for you, Sean, 110%. You know what I mean? And I'm so proud that you're able to come out and say something like that, and well done, because I'll help other people. Because this is the problem. People just, for some reason, can't say it. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, you've got to say it because nobody else is going to help you. It's only us. It's only us that can help each other. The doctors, you can't even get medical help. You can't even get mental health help. You know, there's no money. You know, you just get given tablet after tablet after tablet because every tablet has an effect that needs another tablet to deal with. And, you know, it's just, you just end up sitting in the house not moving. You really do. You know, and then your body just starts to shut down because you're not moving. You need to be up and about, and your body isn't built to be lying down or just sitting still. Your body is not built for that. Your body is meant to be upright for so many hours of the day, and you're meant to be moving about, exercising at least. No heaven, no hell, not even a prison cell. Yeah. Sad. That's a bad one, mate. With the late nights. Yes, my wife suffered from SAD. And yeah, you will see a big difference. And you should really try the daylights, you know, the wee daylights that you get. They do work. It's just using them at the right time. You know, you want to turn it on whenever it gets dark. When it starts to get dark, you know what I mean? You want to turn your daylight on and then turn your daylight off. Like, so you're getting that extra bit of that light because it's all about the light, you know what I mean? And it's like tricking your wee brother into thinking that it's not the short nights, you know? I don't know, like, I'm not a doctor, guys. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. It's the opinions of a guy that's been through care and all the rest of it. You know what I mean? Do not take any medical advice from me, guys, you know. But if you want to chat personally, offline, I'm here. Okay. Winter always triggers my depression and hopelessness. Yeah, well, we can fix that. We can fix that. You know, because you know what the trigger is. You know, you're halfway there, bro. Like, you really are. It's some people don't know what the trigger is. Some people just don't know what's going on. You know, just the dark depression, or they go down in that pit and they just can't pick themselves up. You know, I have episodes. I haven't had episodes in a wee while, like, but you know, they're always there, and you never know when they're going to come. But you know, thankfully, it only lasts for 24 hours, and you know, I know how to deal with it. You know, not to lock myself away, getting onto the duvet and just block everything out, you know, get the day over as quickly as possible because I know tomorrow's going to be a better day. But some people can't handle that. They just don't see, and it snowballs, you know what I mean? It gets worse and worse because they don't know how to get out of it and they don't know why they're in it. I'm sorry, mate. The polls say Christianity's been up in the last 6 months, so Christianity will save us. Have faith. Yeah, George, 110%. There was a big rise in Christianity. The youths are coming back, and 110%. And we are going to be I'm going to be, like, after this weekend, I am going to start concentrating on the churches and trying to speak to church leaders. I really am, like. I've got some serious questions to ask, and if they don't want to speak to me, then I'll be calling them out. I'll be calling them right out, you know. I'll be asking you if you want me to speak to them. If you say yes, I'll be saying that my community want to ask you questions. We demand questions. I'm a Christian. I'm a Methodist. You represent me. You're head of my church. You need to answer my questions. And if they don't want to answer any questions, then we'll get rid of them. Simple as that. We'll find a way to replace everybody that is to try and destroy this land. We don't care who you are. Nobody's going to hide. Nobody's getting away with it. We're not going to forget what they've done. You know, it's blatant, so blatantly obvious. You know, there's video after video of people getting beat silly by people that's come into this country. Young Irishmen, young Britishmen, young girls being jaws broken and all sorts of horrific things getting done. Every single week, there's a horrific crime that we've never heard of ever in this country, in any of our countries, happening every week, if not more than once. You know what happened in Belfast? A man got gang. You know what? A man. When have you ever heard that, guys? When has any man in our streets ever been dragged up an alleyway and other men taking turns? Ever? I've never heard of that. And it's happened in Southern Ireland as well, you know? So, no, it's not happening. No. I'm telling you now, it's, you know, the people that are responsible for this, you know, and a lot of people do say it's not their fault. Yeah, we understand. Yes, we understand. They've been told to come here, they've been forced to come here, they've been pushed here, whatever. You know what I mean? But they're coming in here and they're causing problems. You know, they're coming in here and they're wanting us to change. You know, we have passports, Irish passports, telling other. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on that they're taking the piss. You know, and they forget. All these videos are getting kept. Everything's getting screen recorded. There's people documenting. I know a guy's got a bucket of little memory sticks of every single person who is involved, every single person that's went online and done anything against our countries and our children. There's men gathering evidence, and it's never going to go in. And that's what I keep telling these guys: as we go forward, the past stays still. You know, and it's when you go forward and you look back at the past, when everything's sitting nice and still, is when you see things really, really clearly. When you're living it, everything's fluid. Everything's moving at once. You know, it's really hard to understand. You've got things going on here. You've got Belfast, Scotland, England. You know, you got the Greenman Gang. We're trying to get an inquiry. You've got more people coming on the boats. Then you've got the universities. Then you find out that half the people in the university that are getting degrees in law and doctorates in law are all Muslims. You know, you're like, what? So all our future law societies are all going to be Muslims. You know, they're going to have complete control of, you know, and we know where these people go. Well, Starmer was a prosecution. He was the leader of the I almost said DUP. It was DPP, Department of Public Prosecutions. You know, that's the type of people that end up in Parliament. You know what I mean? So that's all going to stop. You know, private schoolboy days are going to be gone. You know what I mean? That's the big one. Like, you know, the private schoolboys have failed this. They've failed this for the last 100 years. All they've done is abuse our children. You know, and now they're enabling other men to abuse our children. So they're gone. There's nobody in this earth will ever look at them private schoolboys, them snobs, your Farages, and even the people that are supporting them right now. People coming out supporting Nigel Farage and these people in reform. And all these uni parties and all these Conservatives and Labour parties, they all went to private school and they're all millionaires. Don't live in the rundown areas and social poverty areas and the working class areas where our children and our women are being decimated. You know what I mean? They don't suffer nothing. They don't go to NHS. They don't have the problems with a dentist. You know what I mean? Everything's private. They've got summer houses in other countries. When the shit hits the fan, they're off. You know, and that's the people running our countries, letting these men in to do what they're doing to our children and our women, and now our men. Hello, Anne-Marie. Good to see you. Welcome in. Only when I screw them off, I'm not completely like the self-common legs. No, don't, John. Please, not tonight. I don't want any more emails. You know what I mean? I don't want any more emails. Oh, poor John. Frank. Let me see. Frank Barn, just back. Hi, Vanda. Sean Murray, either ignorant or want them here. No, it's all been pre-planned. One person a day, 365 people a year. Yep, so on. I'm just going to go flying. M&G, what have you done? The biggest hypocrite we have to queue up in Dublin Airport and show our documents to citizens. Tell me about it. I see it. Don't be saying that, Freedom Dad. I just did. Ireland have their own audio weapons. Simon Harris, squeaky voice. Good one. Not only that, at passport checks they have. Yeah, you're right. Also, there's a purpose for the 5G mass. Yep. See, this is what I mean. Everybody's awake. Everybody knows exactly what's going on. It sounds waves they using. It's bloody frightening. Right, I need to catch up with you guys. Right, 2 seconds, guys. Away. Liver is part of my. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, guys. I rabbit on, don't I? I rabbit on. This is why I need you in here, Lindsay, with me. You know what I mean? Because this is shut me up. You know what I mean? She's just say, shut up, Freedom Dad, and read the comments. Oh man, sorry guys. Is Riz in? Hi Riz. Rizlet. George. Message retracted, Lindsay. What have you said? Stephen, I agree to disagree with you, big lad. I had a different experience from yourself. And this noise thing you talk about, it's because we already let it get too far. WF. Yeah, no, 100%. I agree to disagree. I imagine we will both agree on everything, mate, if we were sitting in front of each other. You got to remember, this is content, right? And when I say that, that means I've got to be very careful what I say. I know you don't. I know it doesn't sound like it, but please believe me, I am being very cautious. You know what I mean? I am being very, very cautious with my words. You know, but at the same time, I'm just going to be honest and open and a wee bit more blunter because it's time just to be a wee bit more honest and blunter. You know what I mean? And try not to beat about. I'm recovered from multiple addictions. Please reach out anyone who needs to chat. There you go. Lindsay Brown is there, guys. Patriot. Up and coming superstar, I think. We really do like. So yeah, this is what it's about, guys. You know what I mean? And obviously we're not superhuman. You know what I mean? We can only do so much. We've only got so many hours in the day. But the thing is, if you're really, really struggling, we can be there for you. And we also have other people around us that are great guys and girls like Lindsay. And yeah, you're in good hands in Freedom Dad's channel, 110%. Yeah. We're not shy to cry. From was kids shot head. Good, Eddie. Good. Good. Fair play to you, Lindsay. Yeah, fair play, Lindsay. You start talking amongst yourselves, don't you? Yes, mate, I did. I didn't even see any messages from you. What video was it on? Was it YouTube or TikTok? I take it you have heard about my TikTok. Oh, hello, England till I die. How you doing, mate? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Dogs are for mugs. Yeah, no two ways about it, but it was fun at the time. Let's be honest. Let's be honest, guys. Yep, no surrender, guys. Hi, John. Hope you're all good. Yep, I'll send a Lolita. Give me a shout. Good. That's what I like to see. I know you're a sinner. I've tried saving you, M&G. You know what I mean? I've tried saving you. Please believe me. God will be having a chat with you at the pearly gates. You might get one last chance, son. You might get one last chance. Freedom Dad has been working on it for you. You and John Campone, believe it or not, I have been having chats with my good old lord up there and letting them know how confused the two of you are, and that these are really good people, really, but you're just wanting a wee bit of proof, you know what I mean? And I've told them, like, it's not there for them. I told them that wasn't there for them, God, you know what I mean? You're not going to come down and prove that you're here. So I think he understands, you know what I mean? See you later, Deborah. Have a good night. Eddie Cool, I'm always good, just very confused. I'm on the right channel. I see NG as a Mad Hatter, and as for the host, he's awesome. Thank you so much. That is really nice. John P, how you doing? I need to find you on X again to get the messages out to you to make sure you don't miss the lives. Did anyone see the church in East Belfast the other night? No, John. The church that was setting fires in Donegal, St. Mary's. Exactly, Revo, lad. How can any British Irish people get a job when they're importing tons of foreigners? John, we in times that many have an addiction of some sort. Yes. Lindsay, that is my father-in-law, sort of. It's my brother's father-in-law, but it's my father-in-law too. You know what I mean? Because he's my brother's father-in-law, so he's like my father-in-law. If that makes any sense, Yeah, 100%, mate. The vape shops and the barber shops, yeah, we've known that for a wee while. You're bang on, bar. The free money makes them come on a new house, yeah, yeah. I'm trying to catch up, guys. I might miss somebody. If I miss a comment, guys, just throw it back up again. You know what I mean? It's good you trying to catch up. Freedom Dad makes a whole new story. I'm fucking catching up with you. Is there a nightmare? 50 watching. Yeah, brilliant. Happy days. Happy days. Welcome to everybody. It's really just tuning in. Maybe just come across my channel through TikTok or whatever. You know, so I'm Freedom Dad. I was born in South Belfast in a wee place called The Village, which was the most bombed area in Northern Ireland because it was right next to the falls. And every time the provost came on up a Donegal road to drop a bomb in the town, if there was a roadblock, instead of like throwing it at the soldiers or something, they brought it back into our area, dropped in at our bit, and then went back into the falls and left the bombs to go off. You know what I mean? So it was pretty horrific as a child. I lost my mum when I was 8. Didn't have any other family, and I was fired in the car. Everything went downhill from there. I'm not going to go into it tonight. You can watch the video Who is Freedom Dad. Just put in Who is Freedom Dad 73, and that video will come up, and that gives you a sort of outlook of who I am, what I'm about. Yeah, and I've spent quite a lot of time in prison. You know, 3 years in Northern Ireland, 6 years in England, another 3 years in Northern Ireland, and 18 years in Scotland. You know what I mean? Got the 18 down to 15. And yeah, for bank robberies. I'm a bank robber. Was a bank robber. I've got to be careful. There's no money in the banks. You know what I mean? Or I would still be a bank robber. Please believe me. You know what I mean? It's in my blood. You know, but you can't rob. Banks are done. Banks, there's no, you know, I don't know where there's any cash anymore, to be honest with you. There really is no cash, you know. I have checked. I really have checked. There's no cash anywhere. The day, you know, I mean, we were the last bank robbers. You know what I mean? There's no two ways about it. And yeah, I don't drink. I don't take drugs. And yeah, they say I've got complex PTSD, personality disorder, and they want to test me for ADHD. But there's no way. I like. I think that's enough. I don't need tested for anything else. You know, I don't. It wouldn't do you any good, does it? You know, it's not like a degree. You know what I mean? An honors or something like behind your name. You know, so that's enough. I'm happy enough with the way things are. But yeah, TikTok exploded. I think it's over 5,000 on a video right now. I woke up this morning 5:30, went outside, sun was coming up, beautiful morning, and you know, sometimes I think my best work comes first thing in the morning, you know, and I just stuck the video on, like I didn't even know what I was doing, and yeah, just started talking, and boom, yeah, 5,000, like straight away. I think it'll be over 5,000 by tomorrow, like, or by the night. Everything's Freedom Dad 73 on X, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Yeah, and I implore you to get an X account. It's the only one where we're all safe. If I get taken down, I'm on a final warning on TikTok. I put on a final warning for I don't know. Every time I put a video up, I'm thinking, is this the video where I lose all my videos? You know what I mean? So yeah, because I've got over 500 videos on YouTube. Well, nearly 500 videos on YouTube. I haven't checked in a while, so I should be close to 500, guys. It's a lot of content. I don't read any scripts. I don't read anything. I don't write anything down. I put the video on and talk every single time. I put the video. Sometimes I think a couple of times I've had a couple of notes if I'm trying to, like, if I need to remember dates and names and all that kind of, because my memory is not great. But you know, like I say, I don't script. Everything's from the heart. You know. Here, listen. You need to ask Talger. Talger made me this, guys. Don't ask me for a breeze. You need to get on the Talger. But like it's like, you know, Talger's married to an Irish girl, and wow, Irish family. I mean, geez, I was in a house yesterday, right? And I mean, I think I met every member of the family, like, and it was just pure luck, you know, coming in. Amazing guys. A lot of them are fishermen. They do the lobster pots and some stories and like, and it's really difficult because they're proper Irish, you know what I mean? It's like proper Clare, you know, proper County Clare. It's like an accent, you know. I'm getting used to it now, but at first, like, and yes, that's all I'm hearing is like, and sometimes the words are backwards, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, I can't explain it. It's very unique, and it does take a wee bit of tuning to get it. But once you get it, that's your way of flying, you know. I remember these you talk amongst yourselves. Your brother's father-in-law. Yeah. Yeah, no. Dampo, I don't know who I'm speaking to. Yeah, don't worry, mate. Hello, Darn. Darn, Freedomdad73. Has your TikTok gone viral? No cash. You can't get it. No, I don't take cash. I don't. I'm not. I'm fucking. And there's no chance I'm doing that. Like, um, I don't want for nothing, guys. Okay. Yes, obviously, I'm trying. I make ends meet. I'm not flamboyant. You know what I mean? I get a bit of help here and there. You know, I've got lots of friends who look after me, feed me, put a roof over my head. You know, but like I'm not flamboyant. I don't wear a watch. Don't wear gold. Don't have gold teeth. Don't drink. You know what I mean? Nothing I need. Got a driver's license. Can drive and all the rest of it. Normally drive a van, and but I'm okay jumping about in public transport. You know, so I would never monetize. I've told you that from the start. I will never monetize my channels. I will never take a penny for anything I'm doing. Anybody wants to buy me a coffee, you buy me a coffee, you get an email. Every time there's a live, you will get an email letting you know there's a live coming in half an hour, an hour. Sometimes it's like there's a live coming in the next minute, you know, and that's all that's about. And yeah, I started like buy me a coffee because um, my my gotta get all these words right now. Like my baby's mama has a horse, and I was barred from the stable when my girlfriend was really pregnant, and it caused a lot of problems. And we had to pay a lot of money to get the horse looked after. And the buy me a coffee was to help out, and you guys helped out to cover the cost for that month. You know what I mean? I think it was 400 or 500 quid we got in. It was brilliant, and that went straight to Katie. And like I say, any wee bits come in, it's like that's just up to you. One coffee. If you want to buy me a coffee, that's great. You know what I mean? You'll very rarely see me putting it up. If I do a video every now and again, like I done one the other day, I threw it up just because I'm on the move, and that's all that is. I'll never monetize. I'll never ask for money. Like I'll never like you'll never get adverts on my channel. TikTok, all that. Never, not interested. Don't do lives on TikTok because people gift you and all that. I'm not into that. The only place I do lives is on here. Okay, I'm intelligent. I know how to work the internet. I know how to make money. I know how to do clickbait. I know how to grift. I know how to do all that. I could make a lot of money from YouTube and TikTok if I really wanted to without even putting my face on. There you go. It is easy. It is that easy. Um, TikTok's a lot easier. You know what I mean? And you see the likes of Don G and all that, and just sits there every day. You see all these ex-criminals and gangsters and all sorts of people and girls just sitting drinking in kitchens, and you see the money that they put in. You know, it isn't hard to do, guys. But the thing is, this isn't about making money. This is about saving our countries. This is about, and people don't take you serious. If you're going to sit here asking for money and doing stupid stuff, you know what I mean? People will see right through that, you know what I mean? And you lose the power of your words. That's what I think. And I think it's more important that you understand that this is coming from my heart. What I'm doing, I'm putting at a great risk at my own safety. Right now, jumping between Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland, going to the moon, like, I'm wide open. I am wide open. And if I get called anywhere, I have to go. If my boys say, we want to see you here, I have to go. And it could be the last time I ever go anywhere. And I know that. And that's how dangerous this is. You understand? I'm not the type of guy that I wouldn't run away from my own country. It's my country. I love my country. I love my people. You know what I mean? Born and bred there, and, at the end of the day, not everybody agrees with what I'm saying. And it's really, really difficult because I know what I'm saying is right. I know what I'm saying is the right thing for our countries. It's the right thing for our children. It's the only reason I would never put my life on the line, I guess. But it's more important. My daughter's life is more important than my life. And it's as simple as that, guys. East Belfast Christian Church teaching how to be gay and teaching children made me sick. Let me have a look at that, mate, before please. We've always got to give everything a lot of time and double check it and everything. You know what I mean? Look at that carry on with Jim Davis and the Stormer thing. I never touched it, never mentioned it, wasn't interested in it because I knew it was a lot of shade. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, we're not that type of channel. We don't jump on bandwagons. We give everything a bit of time and, let all the other YouTubers throw it all about. And, we just sit back and do our own wee thing, And then when the time is right, we will address it, Excuse me. Once we know the facts are there and everything's out and we know it's not misinformation, it's not bullshit, it's not a trick to try and get us try and get us shut down. But I'll tell you this, see the YouTubers and TikTokers that have been jumping about spreading this, I think they're in trouble, like. I really do, like. I think that Stormers and that Labour are going to come for them, like. I really do. You'll get cash only in Turkey's pop-ups. Give me your money. 5,000, well, mate, you got a rapid following. Yeah, 5,000 on TikTok. Yeah, 5,000 followers, but I got 5,000 views. I think it's over 5,000 views now on a video I done this morning. Loads of love, loads of comments. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Subs are climbing up. I haven't noticed my own subs. I know you may think, I really don't. Uh, I'm not used to it going up. I don't really grow because I don't ask you to share. I don't ask other YouTubers not to mention me. Everybody knows that. I've always been like that from the start, because when I first started doing this, it was exploding. There was 140,000 views on my videos and 50,000 views and 40,000 views. And I was like, whoa, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments, and I couldn't reply to them all. And I felt it wasn't what I wanted. I didn't want that. It made YouTube, like, it made it groundless. Like, it just took everything away, you know what I mean? And then I knew what I needed to do. I needed to swear a lot, talk about grooming guys, you know what I mean? Just go for it. And I knew then YouTube would stop putting my videos out. And then I knew I would be left with a core group of guys like you that would be loyal, and a couple of hundred people, 300 people always looking for my videos, and that's all it's about. That's me happy. If like I always said, that I'm blown away by the way you behave towards me and how you behave with my videos. I think it's amazing, so thank you so much. Like that. And I've always said, yeah, it is about the quality. I know it's a cliche, but it is quality over quantity, guys. It really is. And it's good to be able to react and try and build a community so we can all reach out, and we all learn how to do YouTube videos and TikTok videos, and we all start doing our own wee things, you know what I mean? And we all support each other. And if anybody wants to start a YouTube channel, then you've got a community, get you off the ground. You know what I mean? We'll all go and sub you, get you off the ground so you can go live and stuff like that. Yeah, get on the X, James Cahill. Get on the X, everybody. It's where the real truth is getting out. You've got to get an X account, guys. It's so easy. Just go to your Play Store, X, boom, join up. Don't worry about it. Put any date of birth in. Just put an email address. You don't have to verify it. If you don't want to verify your account, you can use whatever name you want. And just follow me and follow everybody I'm following, and watch what I share, and you just pick it up as you go. It's a wee bit like Facebook, but a lot better. Right, so when you see a video on YouTube, all you got to do is go to share underneath, copy link, click copy link, go to me on X, John, go to the messages on X, press your finger in the wee bar where the letters come up and it'll say paste. Click on paste, and that's you copied the link. That's how you copy YouTube videos. Go to the share underneath the YouTube video, click share, it'll come up, copy link, click copy link. Once you've done that, it's in your phone. You can then go anywhere you want and paste it onto any WhatsApp or any other messaging service that you're using, either on Facebook or Messenger or the message bit on X. It's that simple. I worked in a bank a couple of times helping my old man hoovering and stuff, borrowed a couple of pence. Thank you, Vonda. I found the TikTok. Thank you, Vonda. I'll find his TikTok page. Thank you, guys. Yeah, Freedom Dad, your channel is doing well. It proves that people are waking up to the message 110%. Your channel's doing well as well, mate. You know what I mean? Might check out Revo Lad, guys. And to also, you got a wee channel there, give him a wee bit of love, and he's just growing, finding his way. And it's not easy. It's not easy for people to do this kind of thing, you know what I mean? So, any in my community that do have channels, let me know. Let everybody know, hey, guys, I've got a channel. You want to come and give me a wee sub, because we know what it's about. Don't be shy. We know you need the subs to maybe go live and get more outreach and more algorithms going. Don't be shy on this channel. If you've got a wee channel, you want us to jump on there and give you a couple of hundred subs, we can do that. We can get you 100 couple of subs, so we can. I'll promote your channel for you. A lovely host by the looks of it, Freedom Dad. You're in a good place. Yeah, it's Talger. because quite a lot of these don't use your real names, and it's really confusing for me because I know you all. You know what I mean? Some of these I grew up with. You know what I mean? You're all using mad names. You know what I mean? I'm like always trying to remember not to say your real name. So yeah. Freedom Dad, you only met a third of them. Sick. I don't know what that one is, mate. You always do this to me. Pat Walsh. Hello, Pat Walsh. Welcome in. Bandy, welcome in. Hey, Freedom Dad, is there any way to get videos back from TikTok? The Tommy event, I was part, full stop. The Tommy events. Oh, right. I don't know, mate. I don't think so. I don't think so, mate. When my TikTok goes, all my videos go. They're gone. They're gone. If you take me down, all my videos are gone. That's part and parcel. You got to be prepared for that. You got to be ready for that. And all you do is you start again. Because it doesn't mean anything really. It's 400 odd, 500 odd videos and a lot of content and some really good stuff and all the rest of it. But that's the way it is, guys. You've got to be prepared for that. You got to be prepared to lose everything in this game. Cheers, Don Williams. Thank you. Do you take sugar? I take one sugar in coffee and tea, and I try and make it brown sugar. Okay, do you having a celebration on your birthday? Yes, I'm going to be in Belfast celebrating my birthday as a patriot. So I am with fellow patriots, and my birthday is on Sunday. The Belfast rally will be my birthday party, guys. Simple as that. And it couldn't be any perfect for me, could it? Do you do other lives with people? And you say you're from East Belfast? Yeah, born in South Belfast. I was born in South Belfast in the village in Kilburn Street, and my mum died when I was 8. So then I went into care, and then I ended up in East Belfast in a children's home called Willowfield on the Woodstock Road, and that's basically my stomping ground between that and Bangor, back and forth, Kilcooley Estate, and very safe for me. Spent most of my young life on the streets. My friends, mothers and fathers looked out for me. The older guys looked out for me. Yeah, very, very fortunate, and more down to living in a safe environment, living around good people. Yes, I had one problem where somebody tried to abuse. Obviously, I've had abuse in children's homes. We know about that. We spoke about that. We're not going to go into that. And there was other times when I was close. You know what I mean? And that was once one guy in East Belfast, you know what I mean? And as I got older, I could have dealt with it, but the guy was an alcoholic, he was a down and out, and it was better he suffered. So I left him. But he's very lucky. Very, very lucky. Yes, John Jed's free Tommy Robinson. Seriously, what has happened to our Ragnar? Ragnar's still about. He's still leaving mad comments. Honestly. He's starting to get a bit better, but I'm starting to understand it a wee bit better. He is actually all right. You know what I mean? It's just his way. It's just his way of coming across, guys. It really is. And I don't have him on anything, so I can send him a message. You know what I mean? He's probably away in his boat. He's probably on his way over here. You know what I mean? We'll probably see a video of Ragnar coming in, getting escorted in by the RNLA. Coming in through France. It wouldn't surprise me. I worked in East Belfast in a kebab shop before. Handy. Bring back Ragnar. Oh man, put an SOS out for Ragnar, man. Honestly, some boy, isn't he? Lads and ladies, have any of you got Wi-Fi cameras? They're cheap online and worth placing. Are you trying to sell Wi-Fi cameras on here, mate? Emerald 90, is the Stormer video true? Only seen it today. No, I don't. I'm not touching it. You know what I mean? Jim Davison came out and says it's got nothing to do with me. He says it's AI. It's not even real. It's been made in another country. Yeah. Just put that out of your head, guys. Don't even think about it. You know what I mean? Just don't waste your energy in anything like that. You're going to get used to it. Please remember, but do pay attention to what's happened. Pay attention of the way that video came out, the way it happened. The way nobody really knew, and it was all that's classic. That's classic misinformation. It's classic setting up. If something's true, you're gonna know. It's going to be there, but even still, give it another 24 hours. Don't chase the content. Don't try and be, well, I want to get that out first and do a video. Give it, let the people that want to make the money and do all the stuff that they're doing, let them get on with it. Sit back, and then we can discuss it 24 hours later, you know? Yeah. But what concerns me about Tommy is these characters that were in Franklin are now in where Tommy is. That's what concerns me, you know? I was talking to my sister, said to her, are getting money from ads? She said no. I replied, my team rubbing through. You know, I wouldn't monetize it, guys. No, I wouldn't put, I hate ads. I fucking hate ads. You know what I mean? I really hate ads. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'll be watching a really good YouTuber. I'm not going to say any names. And within 5 minutes, an advert, and I just turn it off. I really do. I'm like, nah. You're not going to sit there and talk about grooming gangs and talk about what's going on in this country and how bad things are and then throw adverts up every fucking 3 minutes. You know what I mean? It's disgraceful. It is, you know. Like Paz does the news, and all the other guys, they're doing the news. They're doing something that's specific. You know what I mean? Gobster and all that, and British Slaughterer. You know, they've got their own styles, and you know, but there's other people out there that are just clickbaiting and just putting nonsense out and just jumping on things that they don't really know nothing about, but they know everybody's will click. You know, and it's all about money. It's all about money. They don't care about what they're talking about. They've no passion. Everything's red. They write everything down. It's all on a screen, and they're looking like they're looking at the camera, but they're actually looking at the screen. You can watch their eyeballs. You see their eyeballs moving a slightly bit from left to right. That's them reading. Tommy, are we starting to get freedom fever? Yeah, no. Litigation, no. Loyalists do not support the irregular immigration. It is the Republicans. The Republicans are supporting it because of the Palestine thing, PLO back in the 80s. You know, so yeah, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. But I think that'll split the Republican movement right down the middle. Like I really do. It'll weaken them. Well, like you know, they're going to lose their community if they keep on down this road. You know, I mean, if they start opening their doors to these people, you know, they're going to have to give up their chapels. You know, these people are going to need somewhere to pray, and they're going to have to give up a chapel somewhere along the lines. You know, it's across the board, guys. All right, Freedom Dad, you say it's not scripted. I can see that. No, you do. Cheers, mate. That's funny. You do. I played the job, mate. That's why I subscribed. I know it's not easy doing what you do. Keep up the good work. Cheers, David, man. Funny guy. Marty, play cards to see who gets the tea. LOL. Man, I saw your photo on Garrison Road. John Giles. We are the people. It's nice channel this. I will be back. Still searching for my soul. Bye. Okay, Mucker. You don't need to search too much for that. Just give me a shout. We'll get a chat. Hi, Hi, everyone. So Stormer. Hello, Window Man. Punching a punch. I know. I've seen that. That's been out for a while. That's you know, honestly, like my Katie's a boxer, right? And like, oh, I could show you some videos of Katie boxing, like, you know what I mean, with the pads, like, and you'd be like, whoa, you would not want a punch from my Katie, please believe me. You know, I reckon if she caught me, I've never been knocked out in my life. Never been knocked out in my life. Came close. A good friend, still a good friend. 5 digs in the jaw because I was out of order, and plus he was with another good friend who is no longer here anymore. Krusty, an old friend of mine, he was brutally murdered a few years ago, a wee while ago, and you know, and I was out of order. You know what I mean? We were kids. I was like 17, 16. You know what I mean? 5 digs to the jaw. I think the 5th one, I did have to hold on to a metal fence to keep myself up, but I stayed on my feet, and I've never ever been knocked out. Very close, but when he takes on Simon Horst, ding ding, sang us out. A few years ago, all that they are doing to people would have been against the law. Yeah, Fuming just made a pot noodle but forgot to boil the kettles. Oh no, microwave it, man. Get it in the microwave. Freedom Dad, your own soul will be lost and confused here, mate, but you'll be happy. Yeah, runs round in circles looking for it. Bye, MR, call again. We're a good lad. Yes, we are, John Capone. Emerald 90, best thing about X, you can use it just as a news account. Yeah, definitely. You can pick and choose who you want to watch. You know, go to who you're following. It's like For You, you know, where they suggest stuff, or you can go to who you're following and only get stuff from who you're following. So it's all down to who you follow. You've got to get that right. You know what I mean? Just get that right. You know what I mean? And everybody's on X. So you got your pick, you know, Rupert Lowe, Ben Habib, Tommy Robinson, the Bricklayer, you know, Past 49, British Lorder, they're all there. Every YouTuber, everybody, Paul Thorpe, they're all on X, guys. Everybody's on X. And that's where even they all tell you, all the YouTubers will tell you, if you want to see what I'm really on about, go to X, you know. That's the way it is. We're being held back in YouTube. Well, when I say that, you know, these guys are doing different things than me, you know, so they do make money. Not a lot of money, guys. These guys don't make this. You're not going to be a millionaire doing this kind of thing, you know what I mean? But, you know, they make a bit of coin, you know what I mean? So they have to toe the line. They have to be careful what they say. They can't just talk about grooming gangs and say fucking all the rest of it and shit, you know what I mean? Because that, you know, you won't get they won't give you adverts. They won't let you make money if you swear, you know. So as far as I'm aware, you know what I mean, that's something like that. You make it sound so simple, Freedom Dad. You'd be surprised how simple life is. Like, honest to God, like, you know, like I say, you just got to be kind, good, generous, caring, have a wee bit of compassion. You know, it's as simple as that. You want to be a Christian, that's it. You don't have to, you know, it's don't confuse it. You know what I mean? Jeez, oh, what more do you think God wants? You know what I mean? Or do you? You know, it's simple. Keep it simple, guys. Just be a good person. Be kind, generous. You know what I mean? Be caring. Be loving. Be compassionate. You know. That's all you got. If you've got them, if you freaking look at an animal and feel sorry if an animal's getting hurt, or you know, or you feel sorry for the kids that are being abused, and you've got compassion, and then you're a good person. You don't overthink it. You know, you're halfway to heaven, guys. Talk about Tommy. I will. If you want me to talk about Tommy, of course I will. What do you want to know about Tommy? John Giles, is the mic going a bit fuzzy? I hope it could be. Don't know. I've got a mic ordered. I've got mics. I'm getting that sorted. I've left my big mic over in Scotland. What are you doing that bloody sound? Freedom Dad, you're sending me. Hey, where? How bad is the sound, guys? It could be the weather as well. It could be the weather as well. Just start a new one up. Start a new one up, David. Right, I'm going to have to skip, guys. Belfast streets were safer back in the day. Yeah, 100%. Kay Reid, hello there. Hello, Kay. Hello. Yeah. You know me on TikTok, but yeah, good to see you. 5 or 6 man units, I mean, community police in every area to look after their own in case that's already happening, Stephen. Good night, Bar. Good night, Revo, son. Right, I'm going to skip some of these guys. I'm just going to make sure I don't lose anybody. I'm not reading your comments. 8 Mags, hello. I'm just reading names. Okay, so please don't shoot at me for not reading your comments out, but I need to catch up. Jeez, oh, right. I'm going. I'm right. That's me. I'm at the end. Eddie, I knew a weirdo who couldn't drink and only put it in a microwave. You lucky K. 100% darn. Evening James F. Fonda, good to see you. Hi, Freedom Dad. Say young, wild, good, golden eagle, God's creatures. Cat's the pigeon. He's no right. Tommy Robinson. So yeah, I worry about Tommy Robinson, guys. I really do. So what's happened with Tommy Robinson is like nothing major, just what you already knew. But I'm just going to throw it out there again. Yep, there's James Cahill, guys. See that message from James Cahill? Click on that link and subscribe, please. That's very important. I'll give you a couple of minutes to do that. And get back to me when you have done that. I don't trust the Epstein files. But Tommy, so what happened in Franklin? Franklin had a unit for extremists, for the worst of the Muslims. And they had their own kitchen, and that's how he was able to boil oil up and throw it around that prison, them prison officers. Now, they've shut that unit down in Franklin, and they've moved the men to where Tommy is. And Tommy is suffering because there's that many extremists in there now. And Tommy's lost a couple of privileges. But I worry. I really worry. In my head, in my eyes, Tommy is in the worst place he could possibly be right now. And it's not just about it being in prison. These guys are organized. These guys are paramilitaries. These guys are terrorists. There's no limit, I truly believe, of how far these guys could go. If these guys get anything in like weapons, that we've heard that there is weapons getting, like, and I'm talking them weapons are getting into the English jails. We know that. I know for a fact there's one definitely got into an English jail. Then that worries me. That worries me because they can get them doors open. I don't know. I haven't been in jail in England for a while, so I don't know exactly what the security's like. I'd like to think that the security, they can't control the doors there. It needs to be done through a camera. I'd like to think that's the kind of security that they've got going. But I do worry that they are going to try and get to where Tommy is. I really do worry, guys. And I worry that the government, just like what happened to Billy Wright in the maze, I worry that's the kind of thing, because there's no two ways, that was collusion, guys. We all know that now, you know what I mean? I play that guy, Marty, Brilliant Prizes. Me and G Muttley decoding your SMS. I put the video. See the video I done today, guys, with the video a day. I've only done one video a day on YouTube. So I put it up. So I did, right? And when I was screen recording, fucking a load of your phone numbers, John Rankin, somebody from Belfast, who else? I'm sure somebody else's phone number came up on the thingy, and I didn't notice it. And I put the video up, but I think only 3 people seen it. And I managed to get it back down again and then put it up and cover the names up. So, yeah. So, far away. Anybody want to ask me any questions? We have an hour and a half. You know what I mean? Not going to push it out too much because I am in company. Don't be jumping on our bandwagon, John Capone. Always in my prayers, Tommy Robinson. God's angels protect him. Yeah, definitely. Always pray for him, guys. They're trying to do something because the time is getting short and he's out. They're terrified of Tommy getting out, so they are. They are terrified of Tommy getting out, guys. Tommy's got some pull now, and he's going to get the funding from Trump and Elon Musk. He's going to be unstoppable. He really is going to be unstoppable. If you're going to get behind anybody in this country, it's going to be Tommy Robinson, isn't it, guys? I'm a Taurus. What age are you next week? I'm 56. 4 years away from 60, guys. Honestly, I don't feel it. I feel like really young. I've still got my 6-pack. I've still got my biceps and everything. I'm strong. Not as strong as I used to be. I need to get back to the gym. I'm starting to get my weight back on again. I lost 4 stone after I lost my wife. And, it's all getting back. I went from 11 stone to 8 stone, guys. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I'm reaching up, I think, about 9.5, 10 stone now. So I've got another stone to go to get back to 11, and I will get that back on as soon as I get to the gym. Once I get back to settling where I'm settle back to home, get back to the gym and start training again. Yeah, that's on Sunday, guys. Were drugs a part of the troubles, Freedom Dad, or did they come later? Yeah, drugs were a problem. the drugs did cause a bit of a problem. Yeah, they did. There was no two ways about it. Tommy Robinson and Conor McGregor would work together, would be some crack. Yeah, 8 Mags, well, that's what the bit of news I'm talking about the night, guys, was there is a rumour going about, a very good, strong rumour, that James Conley? Guys, help me out. Who was it was talking about the Irishman who died in the Easter Uprising? The main man. I'm not a Republican, guy, so you need to forgive me. I should know these things. I will get there. Like, yeah, but it's not just that, mate. There was other problems as well. You know? James Conley. So his great niece is apparently, she's in America, and she's apparently coming over to run for president. And I believe Sinn Féin are trying to get her. But I know what I'm hearing is James Conley belonged to the Fine Gael, and so I can't imagine her going to anywhere else but the Fine Gael, and I think that's how you pronounce it. So yeah, if you want to research that, you know, it's his great niece. Agreed, Freedom Dad. Watch all his interviews, most documentaries, follow court cases, watch JP interviews. I will die for TR. I know you would. I know you would. You know, yeah, I know there's quite a lot of these are diehard Tommy Robinson supporters, and you know, like I say, I've been doing this for a long time, like supporting them. You know, I've always been like it. Yeah. Obviously, I've only been doing this for like 7-8 months, but Tommy Robinson has been a big part of me and my life in the last 15 years, and my wife loved him. You know, that was the thing. You know what I mean? You know, my wife loved him, and you know, that was part of my life. And I followed him through the EDL, watched every single video, every platform he had on. I was there, never missed anything he's ever put out. You know, hi Shell, David Bailey, I heard you talking about the troubles in Ireland whilst walking your lovely dog through the estate. I didn't realise it's as deep as mate. Yeah. What's up with your new mic? I haven't got a new mic. I haven't got a new mic. I'm just using the mic off the phone. Is it really bad? Obviously I need to get one ordered. I've got one ordered. What do you think of UKIP? I like UKIP. I like Nick. So I do, yeah. Don't think I'd die for him. Like, my life's so precious. Nobody's asking you to die for anybody, MG, you know what I mean? Put the shotgun away, mate. Relax, it's okay, you know what I mean? We're just having a chat. Yeah. James Connolly, Scottish born. There you go. Well, you know, he died for Ireland. Well, he was born in Scotland and that, he gave everything for his country, guys. So, you know, you can't take that away from him. No, John. No, it was in the middle of the Troubles, so it was. That was the thing with Billy Wright, guys. If you want a wee fucking history lesson. So, you know, obviously Billy Wright was part of the Ulster Volunteer Force, and some of that part of it was like, you know, one side was, you know, part of selling drugs. I'm not going to go into it, but the Ulster Volunteer Force weren't even allowed to take drugs, never mind sell drugs. And, you know, the other side were making lots of money, trying to in beamers and bulletproof windows and all the rest of it, and designer gear. And, you know, the other side were struggling away because they weren't doing selling drugs, you know what I mean? And whether they're right, wrongs, and morals and all the rest of it, don't want to get into it. And so, you know, basically Billy Wright didn't agree with the attitude of the leadership of the Ulster Volunteer Force, so he started up as an organisation. Well, actually, the UVF did threaten to kill him, put a death threat on him. So he started up his own. He started up the LVF, the Loyalist Volunteer Force, and yeah, the rest, you know, he was shot in the maze by Crip McWilliams of the INLA, who climbed over the roof from the exercise yard and dropped down into the front yard where the visiting bus was, where Billy was sitting in the back of the bus, and they shot him in the head and body, you know, and that's that story, guys. Yeah, and that's something that I talk about and go forward with in my platform, and it's something that I will never shy away from. Is what I believe in, what I grew up in, and what my love is. You know, and I love my country. I love my countrymen. I was born an Orange man, Protestant, whatever you want to call me. Joined the Orange Order when I was able to walk. You know, running up a Donegal Road to Sandy Road. You know, and being flute bands, I was being involved with everything like that, and it was just a big part of my life. It was what my mum left me. My mum brought me up to be that kind of man. That I believe, you know, she took me to the Orange Walks. She got me in the Orange Order, you know. So I only know what she left. What I only had 8 years with her, you know what I mean? And all these wee things meant a lot to me. And I thought, and I believe that's the direction she would have wanted me going, and I wanted to make her proud, you know, and that's what I did. You know, through everything I had, I was a loyalist, true loyal, true loyal. You know, and you wouldn't get more loyal than me. Um, Sorry, Freedom Dad, had an interruption. That's okay, Amby. To be honest, I noticed it myself. Tommy just confirmed I wasn't going mad. LOL. Yeah, Marty. But yeah, you know, it's like anything, guys, in life. You know what I mean? Nothing's still. Everything's fluid. You know what I mean? Everything's moving. You know. Um, uh, Life is a roller coaster. You never know what's around the corner. And like I say, the reason why I do talk about stuff is because we need to talk about stuff. You know, we cannot shy away from stuff. We're not going to get anywhere if we're all scared to say anything, scared to say, oh, I was a loyalist, or I'm scared to say I'm a Republican, or scared to say I support the Republican, or I support. We can have all these feelings and love each other and love the country we come from, and you know, and remember our dead and have the 12th of July, the 11th of July, the 9th of August, the 1916 uprising, your Easter parades, all the rest of it. We can have all that. It's no problem. And we can still live together, without a doubt. Because we're remembering stuff that's happened many, many years ago. Never didn't happen yesterday. Didn't happen last month, and it didn't happen last year. Didn't happen 10 years ago. It happened over 15 years ago plus. Okay? That's where we are today, you know. So yeah, we should all be able to talk quite openly about our past, our dead, remembrance and celebrations, and not have a problem with it, you know. Um, it's just part of history. It's just a history. It's just life. It's just a history lesson, and that's all it is. Nothing more, nothing less. Cheers, cheers, James. So yeah, I think it's. I think you know, it is difficult because you know there's a lot of better people out there, guys, that we cannot get through to, and it is difficult. The shock Gusty Spence lived so long and wasn't killed by the provost. Yeah, 71 good innings, as they say, fair play. James Conley died on your birthday. That was the firing squad, wasn't it? Yeah, firing squad. The English. What you're saying there about Gusty, you know, I could say that about a lot of people. You know, I could say that about a lot of Republicans that I'm surprised, you know, are still here. You know, and you know, I think both sides are quite surprised that there's still people still here. You know, and I suppose that's part of the peace process, guys. That's part of going forward. You know what I mean? It is a bitter. I'll be honest. It is a bitter pill to swallow. It really is. It's difficult. You know, I'm not going to say here like I'm wanting peace and all the rest of it. Of course, it's difficult. It's difficult to. I don't know if I could ever speak to the man that killed Billy Wright. You know, I don't know. I can't imagine I could ever do that. You know, and that's difficult. There is going to be difficult times, and I'm just being honest. There is Republican men that I do not think I would be able to communicate with, and I'm just being honest. You know, and I imagine that there's Republicans that wouldn't want to communicate with me or people like me. You know, and at the end of the day, we don't all need to communicate. We don't all need to get on. You know, we just need the majority to get on. You know, we don't really matter. I don't matter. You know, these paramilitaries and Republican paramilitaries, they don't matter. It's the people that matter. It's the majority that matter. You know, that's who's got the power, you know. And you got to remember that, guys. You know, you've got the power. You've got the power to change things, you know. Yeah, we're all Tauruses in this. It's weird, isn't it? We're all, most of us are all Tauruses. It's nuts, like. But yeah, guys, I am going to wrap it up. It's an hour and 39 minutes. I am a guest, you know what I mean? And, you know, like I say, I'm with my mate and his amazing wife and amazing family and in an amazing part of the world that I'm so glad to have experienced. Sorry. Picking up hay fever as well, honestly. Normally my nose is running, as you know, when I'm out walking my dogs. I know a lot of people probably think I'm full of the coke because I'm constantly sniffing and blowing my nose, but yeah, I do. It's mild hay fever, sneezing, runny nose, nothing major. Don't get the stingy eyes or nothing. 9 months. 9 months, Vanda. Listen, guys, if you're on X, right, this is what you need to remember as well. If you're on X, remember you've got Grok. Grok, Grok, AI. Ask it anything. It's brilliant. Have a conversation with it. You know, get to know it. It's quite a friendly wee thing. It's quite impressive, so it is. Yeah, time to go, guys. Yep, yep. So thanks for popping in. Like I say, wherever I am, I'll still do my lives. Catch up with you and get a wee chat. Like I say, the wee brother's been great. The wee brother's been really, really good. And it's because of who I'm around. I'm around really, really good people. You know, in Belfast, I've had an amazing time in Northern Ireland with my friends, and I've still got loads to do and loads of people to see. And I've got like, oh, really, you do not know. Like, I've got a diary booked up, and I am like trying to fit like 3 different people in one day. You know, and then I've got like I forget I'm meant to meet this person on this day, and then I've arranged something else, and then my mate's going, but you're meant to be meeting this person. I'm like, you know, it is hard work. Everything's happening really quick because I've been away for a long time. You know, everybody expected me to come back to Belfast after my wife died. You know, and part of my conditions when I got out after doing the 15 for the bank robberies in Scotland was I wasn't allowed back in Belfast. Was part of the conditions of me getting out early. I wasn't allowed to join a foot band. I wasn't allowed to watch an Orange Walk. It was like nuts. You know what I mean? Everything that I know that was my life, they took away from me to use because they can do whatever they want. If it's up because if you don't sign the parole form, they don't let you out early, so they can put whatever they want on there, and it's just the usual conditions. You know what I mean? See the parole had to go into the civic centre, like the local council thing, and see a parole board every week, and then that went on for about 2 years, and then I got it down to once a month for a year. Then the next year it was twice, once every 6 months, and then the last couple of years it was maybe just every 6 months, and but it was hard at the start, and knowing that the slightest wee thing you were right back in again, and doing on our shitload of years, you know what I mean? So yeah, they had me by the short and curlies when they released me, and obviously I was married and everything, and I was settling down. My life had changed. I relocated to Scotland. I've never lived outside Northern Ireland before. I never moved to Scotland. I was arrested in Northern Ireland and brought to Scotland. So yeah, it was all a bit of a culture shock, and everything was a wee bit wonky donkey. But I settled down, and I sort of found my own place in Scotland, and I enjoyed it. And then I lost my wife, and obviously I lost my wife for 3 years, and then I met Katie, and then I had a baby, and even just telling you and saying it like that, it blows my mind. Actually speaking it out loud of how everything's went, and then now I'm getting back in the car. I've got a godson, and I hadn't seen my godson, and I was really pissed off that I hadn't seen my godson. So now I'm spending time with my godson and people who I've a lot of time for, a lot of love for, and a lot of care for, that I care a lot about. And one of my problems is people don't know how much I care for them because I don't tell people. People just don't know, like, you know what I mean? And that's the problem I've got, you know what I mean? And I am rectifying that. I am making a point of making sure people now know how much I care about them, how much I really think about them, and how much they mean to me, you know what I mean? Because we don't do that. We just don't do it for some reason. And, do it, guys, you know what I mean? If you tell your brother, your sister, your girlfriend, your wife, just tell them how much it means to you, just out of the blue every now and again, because we just take it for granted that they know, So, yeah, guys, I'll leave you with that. thank you all so much for coming in. Not going to shout all your names out. Liam Bream, hello. Sorry, just my job side with twits every morning. And Holly quit TV. Yeah, I know what you mean, mate. I know what you mean. But yeah, guys, thanks for coming in. I know. I'm sorry I'm cutting it off, but I am. That's an hour and 45 minutes going, so that's no. And I know it goes really quick. I know. You all say that it goes quick. It goes quick for me. You know, I could sit if I was on my own in my own house. I could probably sit for an hour. So not a problem. But I'm not going to be rude. You know what I mean? And plus, I'm enjoying the company. I'm like a sponge right now. I really am. I don't think you understand what it's like to be a loyalist. Brought up in South Belfast, East Belfast, being like proper loyalist. You know what I mean? I've got the tattoos. You know what I mean? I've done the maze. I've done the crumb. You know, I've lived and breathed it. I really loved it. You know what I mean? I thrived on it. You know, I know my history. I can tell you everybody has been shot. I can tell you the gunmen, the road provos. I can name all the provos. I can sing IRA songs. I really can. I can sing IRA songs because I've heard them in the jails. So yeah, I've lived and breathed it, and it's a big part of my life. And it's been a giant leap for mankind. It's been a giant leap for me. It has, and it's been an eye opener, and I'm absolutely blown away by the absolute friendliness and the compassion and understanding. And you know, really, this is what blows me away. How similar we are. That's it in a nutshell, guys. You know, that's you know, there's no difference. There is no difference. We have the same crack. We say the same things. You know, everything is exactly. We just talk different. We all just talk different, and that is it. You know, and we truly are only just Christians. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm Freedom Dad, guys. God bless every single one of you.